Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have news to share about children who are being deported by the Trump administration, including one American citizen, another one, and one little girl who will die unless Trump and his bigoted ghouls change their minds. Before I get into all these details, though, please do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button below this video. It really helps to bring more attention to these horrific situations, and so I thank you in advance. So here's what is going on. Here's what's going down. The Trump administration has revoked the humanitarian parole status for a family who had brought their daughter to the US. They brought her here in 2023 for life-saving treatment, for life-saving medical treatment. The little girl is now 4 years old, brought her here when she was 2, and she suffers from something called short bowel syndrome. So she can't properly absorb nutrients that are in food. If she just eats, she cannot absorb the nutrients. She will die. So she has been, given, I guess, this backpack. I guess the doctors came up with this idea to have her wear this backpack, and the backpack delivers food to her intravenously. So obviously she has a feeding tube. Well, the treatment is being given to her, was from Los Angeles Children's Hospital. And they created this to keep her alive. This is not available in Mexico. She cannot get this treatment in Mexico. This is the only way to keep her alive. And the Trump administration wants to send her back to Mexico to die. Well, an attorney for the family, they held a press conference. The attorney said, quote, "Doctors have been clear that she will die within days. Deporting this family under these conditions is not only unlawful, it constitutes a moral failure that violates the basic tenets of humanity and decency." The Trump administration, though, is claiming that, well, we're still reviewing and we're still considering their newly filed humanitarian parole application. So the attorney for the family had just filed a new application. I don't buy it. I am sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. Sorry, not sorry. We have been lied to over and over again about these deportation cases. So I will keep an eye out on updates for this case. I'll let you guys know if I hear anything else. In the meantime, the Trump administration has already deported a 2-year-old girl. She now has basically no country to call her home. Her family calls her Manu. Her full name, though, is Emanuele Santos. And she was born in the United States in 2022. Her parents are undocumented, but she is a United States resident and citizen. Well, in February, the Trump administration deported the entire family to Brazil. Brazilian officials said, "We don't know what to do with this. Like, we've never encountered anything like this with a U.S. resident being deported to our country." And the Brazilian government is now trying to figure out what they're going to do with this situation. They're trying to create a new process so that they can provide her with temporary citizenship in Brazil, and it would expire when she turns 18. So then she would basically, I assume, have to figure out how to become a Brazilian, or, move back to the US by herself as soon as she turns 18. As of now, though, Manu is living in this country, living in Brazil, the country that is not hers, with a tourist visa. That tourist visa is going to expire, though, in the next few weeks. And because she's not legally a Brazilian citizen, she has no right to attend school there. She has no right to receive health care. So if she gets sick, God forbid, she needs surgery or something major happens, she cannot receive treatment. Her parents are completely panicked about this. And check this out. This is what the Trump administration had to say about this situation and others like it. A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson told the Daily Beast, quote, "The media and Democrat politicians are force feeding the public false information that U.S. citizen children are being deported. This is false and irresponsible. Parents are asked if they want to be removed with their children, or ICE will place the children with someone the parent designates." These are monsters. These are sick SOBs. They think nothing of tearing families apart and forcing parents to make an unimaginable choice. Can you imagine? Like, okay, I'm going to leave my child here where maybe they're in a better place, they're in a better country, but I'm going to leave them with strangers. I'm never going to potentially see them again, depending on who wins the election in 2028. Or I can take my child with me to maybe a country where, things aren't necessarily safe, especially for girls, right? Especially for women and girls. Yeah. These are the people who claim to be pro-life. They're the ones clutching their pearls about the babies and the children. And their statement, by the way, doesn't even appear to be true. Even as depraved as it is, doesn't appear to be the case, because the family told the Daily Beast they weren't even given a choice. They weren't even allowed to discuss the idea, or it never came up, about allowing Manu to remain in the United States. They said they were ordered to appear at an ICE office, and then they show up because they're law-abiding people. They show up to do the right thing, to do what they're told by the government, and they're forced to sign forms that they didn't understand, and then they were deported. And we have heard this over and over and over again. So it's not like, oh, well, give the Trump administration the benefit of the doubt because these people could be lying. No, this is what we're hearing from everyone. And again, we know these are the twisted things that Donald Trump has been doing from day one. Not only are they shoving paperwork in front of these immigrants written in a language that they don't understand, but remember, they deported another family to Honduras, and one of their children, a 4-year-old, had stage 4 cancer. And while that child was being held, they gave him no access to his medication. His doctors didn't have access to him during the whole thing. So yeah, this is the cruelty. This is who they are. This is what they're doing. We've seen it over and over and over again. And check this out. Check out this video of this Cuban mother. She was ripped away from her daughter, her 1-year-old daughter, while her daughter is still breastfeeding and has a medical condition. This woman has no criminal record, according to the report. So check this out.
Heidi Sanchez spends her days watching videos of daughter Kayleen. It's as close as she can be to her child now, just days after Heidi was deported from the United States to Cuba. Kayleen, who was born in Florida, stayed there with her father, who, like Kayleen, is also a U.S. citizen. But she does not comprehend where her mother is. She's very intelligent, Heidi says of her 1-year-old daughter. When she talks to me, she says, "Mama, come." And they say, "Your mama is working." She says, "Mama, come." Heidi lived for 6 years in the U.S., and although she tried to become a legal resident, she was placed into deportation proceedings after missing an immigration hearing in 2019. In late April, at what she thought was a routine appointment with immigration officials, she says they told her she was being deported and to have her husband come get their daughter. "I told them, don't take away my daughter," Heidi says. "They never said if I could take her or not with me." Heidi had to hand over her daughter to a member of the legal team to then give to her husband, her lawyer told me.
What they told her was that she needed to call her husband and that she needed to ask him to come and pick up the baby. There was not an option of, oh, I want to take my baby. Can I take her?
2 days later, Ida was deported on a U.S. government flight to Cuba without her daughter, who she was breastfeeding and suffers from convulsions. In Florida, Ida says she was working as a nursing assistant and had no criminal record, not seeming to fit with the image of the dangerous, undocumented immigrants that the Trump administration says it is removing from U.S. streets.
So obviously they didn't deport the child, but they broke up the family. They took a mother away from her 1-year-old child. So the next time that you hear one of these MAGA hypocrites start thumping their Bible and talking about the babies and protecting children, save the children, like all those idiots at the Capitol on January 6th with their signs, let them know. Just tell them where to shove their phony concern and outrage, because they clearly do not care about children and babies if they don't have the right skin color. So anyway, guys, I will let you know. I know there are going to be more cases like this. There already have been, and there just hasn't been enough time to cover everything. But I guarantee there will be more because Trump is desperate. He is desperate to throw this red meat to his base to keep them happy about all the brown people and the black people that he's hurting. So yeah, they're going to keep doing shit like this. All right. I will let you know. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, even though the content is difficult to hear and watch. Please subscribe if you have not. Share this with other people so they understand the truth about what's going on, and that, yes, U.S. citizens are being deported and sent to other countries. And if you can help out with a donation, it really, truly is appreciated. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.